So it's all come down to this. A dungeon and dragons.
I didn't see it coming.
Hey everybody, it's WillBits, and we're here for week 4, the finale of Cornwood Ascending! The last 3 characters are finally here. Let's talk Ignis. Oh wait, this is not even Ignis. This is the Ignis statue. I thought it was gonna be the other quest. Go stand by your very short brother. They're like, even with the horses, they are abnormally shorter than the other horse characters. Okay, for real this time.
Now that Larius has been defeated, the path to the Fountain of Dwarves is clear, but Momon's forces are headed to the Cornwood village.
Relax, wizard. Ligula and Gynecologial have raised an army to protect the village.
Oh, great! So the defense of Cornwood is being led by a couple of ladies.
See here, old man. I think it's crystal clear which gender produces the best warriors here in Cornwood.
Looking at you, Hermaphrodite, nothing about gender is crystal clear.
We're just not gonna comment on that one. We're gonna learn about Maman's final attack. She won't stop until she rules the whole kingdom. Do you have what it takes to stop her? So there are going to be kangaroos. The Maman's epic king. I feel like they should have another name than kangaroos, like the Oliphants in Lord of the Rings that they're kind of a parody of. The final fight is here to bring peace to the kingdom, take down Maman once and for all. So I feel like this is just gonna be like I don't know if there's even gonna be anything special about her boss battle. But to start off with, Ligula has a 6-hour task. I almost had mine caught in dupe there, so be careful with that. You can just cancel them, but you have to start over on your timing. And Titanius has a 1-hour task, so you're potentially kind of stuck there for a little bit. Which might be convenient if, say, this dropped early in the morning in the middle of when someone's in the middle of a workday. But while they're doing that, we can at least check out all of our final set of characters. Frydo, Maman, and our premium Larius, the last of the 3 brothers. I think it's interesting that Maman here is represented in her human form, but if you actually look at her, she is also sometimes a dragon. I wasn't sure if her dragon form was going to be another person, but she is our only evil affinity character so far, and might be kind of a beast in PvP, as her rank 1 gives her 25 increased damage to basically everybody except other villains. That might not count much for PvE, because a lot of the mobs don't seem to really have a class specifically. Some of them have affinities, but a lot of them are just kind of bleh, they're just kind of generic, so that might not apply for them. But she does 25% increased damage and takes 15% reduced damage, so pretty strong. Plus her special has a 50% chance to poison all enemies for 2 turns. She gets even stronger if you happen to be able to group her with Ignis. It's interesting that this has changed, actually. Initially, I think it was purely dependent on having the kids there, but currently she has a 30% chance to counterattack and reflects 15% of damage dealt to her, and then if Ignis is in the crew, her attack is increased by a full 40%, and her basic attack has a 30% chance to stun a target for 2 turns. A initial version of her actually had her going with Waltazar and Larius, and they've actually flipped it to only be her interacting with the free character. So that's interesting, actually, that they've already balanced her in a way that makes her a little more free-to-play friendly. Our other free character is Frydo. He is a delivery boy. This is Fry's 4th delivery boy skin, if you count his default, which is a lot. But his special gives him 2 turns of double attack, and he has a built-in taunt that comes with a 15% damage reflect. So that's pretty interesting, but he's not actually very tanky unless you get him up to his rank 3, which does give him just immunity to burn and charm, but it's interesting that he gets progressively a little more overpowered if you actually queue him up with everybody else. If Titanius, Legula, Gynecoladriel, or Greyfarn are in the crew, then his attack is increased by 20%. His defense is increased by 20%, and he has a 30% chance to burn a target for 2 turns. That's also been simplified a little bit. The other one had a way more complicated set of traits where he gained an immunity for each individual character, and it was like a paragraph of text. So it's nice that actually if you just queue him up with any one of these, he gains the benefit. That's actually a lot more versatile than I thought he was going to be, because he can actually get that, like, if you're just using Gynecoladriel or Greyfarn or even Titanius, all of whom I think are pretty strong in different specific ways, he does gain a really nice kind of boost that makes him very appealing to me as a gate grind character. Maybe not at 99, but at another other level, just to get that extra punch in on that level. Overall, I like it. Let's see what they changed about, if anything, about Larius. Another villain. We're getting 2 villains this week. That's interesting. Brotherly Hate. He starts the battle with a shield that blocks one attack. If Waltazar is in the crew, he has a 50% chance to counterattack all basic attacks. Sleeper Hold. If Ignis is in the crew, his attack is increased by 30%, and his basic attack has a 20% chance to cause sleep to a target. And then Larius' special attack has a 35% chance to remove all negative buffs from your crew, and grants a buff that increases the crew's defense by 30% for 2 turns. He's actually been buffed a little bit as well. In his initial version, I think Ignis actually caused a chance for Larius to get confused, which was kind of a drawback, whereas now, if all 3 brothers are in a party together, they are going to be pretty strong. I don't know if it's strong enough that I would really keep them as my primary fighters, but a Maman plus 3 brothers party could be interesting in certain subsets, especially if you're planning to level them up anyway to get the statues due to the essences. Let's pick up Larius at minimum while we're waiting. Just so we've got all 3 of the bros. Anyone know how to apologize to a horse? Pretty sure you just give him an apple or a carrot and go. No one ever listens to me at home. Sir Knight Calculon, do you think theater is the place for me? This is an interesting place for their quest to go. Yes, when you're on stage, people have to listen to you. It's what we call a captive audience. At least when they're actual captives. But if your audience are involuntary prisoners, how does the theater make money? Refreshments. Like real prisons. Alright, they'll have quests to do. Oh, and you immediately, upon buying Larius, get his quest to rank him up to rank 4. It is timed. You only have a week to do it. But since there's 7 days here, and there are 6 days left in Cornwood Descending, although I believe it got extended by a day. So this may not have updated yet. Let's look at the... Yes, it's actually going to end on the 12th now. So this clock is a little bit off. So you do have about that full week to get that character, if that's the kind of gameplay that you're doing. Yeah, we got 3 new villains this event, and that's pretty nice, but villains are already starting to become... They've gone from being exceptionally rare to not that rare, as we're now already up to having 8 of them. We still only have 12 scientists, so it's actually a little alarming how quickly villains have kind of started to catch up to that particular demographic. But enough character chat, I want to look at the maps.
We must finish our journey to the Fountain of Twelves so that Frydo can retrieve the Weapon of Destiny and save the kingdom from Momon.
Weapon of Destiny? What is that?
The sword forged by 12s, powerful enough to defeat Momon's 12th orb. It seems the fate of Cornwood has come down to a single round of orb, sword, scepter. 1, 2, 3, shoot. That's a sword, not paper. We must find our way inside the Fountain of Twelves and obtain the Weapon of Destiny. My magic visions tell me that the sword is embedded in a stalactite deep within the fountain. Only the Chosen One has the power to remove it.
The Chosen One? I hate that guy. Do your magic visions say if it's a problem if the Chosen One meets with an accident immediately after getting the sword?
Alright, we can fight our Momon kangaroo. Did we just click on him again? Cool. I'm gonna leave the 1 for now because I think there'll be more later. And you can again collect black dice by trading in 2 of your, which is interesting that you're trading in 2 6-sided die to get what is now a 20-sided die. It was a 12-sided dodecahedron in the actual film. Not a 20-sided die, although 20 is more infamous for Dungeons and Dragons, perhaps. But it made sense that 2 6 make a 12. 2 6s don't make a 20. Math. Oh, and as before, Larius, of course, gets his own map. So we will be able to use our 20-sided dice to run that and get essences as before. Overall, this seems really similar to the previous week. Our best path looks like a 52 Hermaphrodite for this particular map. Do appreciate how much more money we get on these maps. Yep, it's gonna be Frydo Essence until we get Frydo.
What do you suppose will happen when we find the Dwelvin sword? The chosen one, that's you, will transform into a godlike warrior and fulfill your destiny as the ultimate savior of Cornwood.
Has Sunday school taught me anything? It's that saviors don't last long. Are you sure it's too late to transfer the chosen one title to Titanius?
This is a good Easter joke. It's good, it's timely.
I will reduce your homes to rubble, smash your markets, and poison your wells. You'll have no place to sleep, no food to eat, no water to drink.
Wouldn't it be easier to persuade the people of Cornwood to follow you, like, by giving them cake and refreshments? That's what I'd like.
Forget it, I'm all stick and no carrot.
I never understood that expression. I don't like sticks or carrots. Just cake and refreshments.
Alright. Ignis can wield a staff for 6 hours. We are just really stretching these out. Hermaphrodite gets to practice archery.
I am Gynecoladriel,
Oh.
queen of the water nymphos.
I'm not used to these having specific voice acting. Nice to hear. She gets to ride a centaur. And overall, we're just gonna proceed as usual. Oh, I do want to quickly look. Do we have the things listed? Maman requires 40 Maman Essence. That seems a little light. That's about what some of the other week's characters have had, so that seems pretty easy. And you only need 30 for Frydo. So I think that's almost identical to the stats we needed for last week. This is gonna be really easy. The only thing that's left is just going through all of the maps and just kind of figuring out what the best gates are gonna be and then just kind of grinding straight through it. All right, I actually didn't skip these. Real time has passed.
Your fate is sealed. I shall burn this village to the ground. You'll never succeed, Maman. We have the power of the water nymphos on our side. Those tramps! Their powers of seduction are useless against my all-consuming fire. You forget, Maman. The water nymphos have another power in addition to the sex one. Water. It's in their name, ma'am.
It's true, they could just use the water to put out the fire. And not a sexy fire, just a normal fire.
Behold, Frydo, the Dwelvin sword planted deeply in that stalactite there. You must reach high, summon all your strength, and draw the sword from the cave roof.
Originally, you just said I'd have to draw the sword from the stalactite. You didn't mention anything about reaching or strength.
Go, stupid me. I just assumed you'd realize that to draw a magic sword from the roof of a cave, you'd need to reach high and use strength.
Too bad, too bad. Create the Frydo outfit is gonna take 30 as we saw earlier, and then we'll have Frydo do a little task, but we actually get to go straight to path 2. We don't have to actually do this one multiple times. I guess that comes later. We will be taking a very high leveled Greyfarn, just so we can get through this coolest gate Here's the other paths if you want to see them. I realize that at this point, the levels are pretty high for a lot of players. Like, we're already seeing a level 59 path. That's pretty rough unless you are on the track of actually searching for statues. And since we don't have nearly the essences that we need to actually make Frydo here, now's probably a pretty good time to actually look at the Larious missions. There's 3 of them. For your best paths, you're going to want a scientist, a robot, and then a scientist as your main things to come along. Even in the first map, it's already 52 for the scientist. At this point, you're either capable of running these or you aren't, because this has been going on for a few weeks now. Continues to be a pretty nice source of money and peta chips, and that's actually going to get even bigger as time goes on. We'll get Frydo in no time. Second map, make sure you bring along a robot of some kind if you have one over 66. Otherwise, the second best path is a captain, which you are probably more likely to have, even if you're struggling a bit. Trying to get enough Larious essence to actually level him up a little bit. Exactly like that. Remember when leveling up to 30 used to be like difficult and a really hard thing to do? What a different world we live in. Third map, once again needs a scientist. This one a whopping 80, which is tough. That's literally a daily planet path. So you know if you can handle those or not. That's like the hardest paths currently available. A 52 delivery boy is the second best. That's not as bad. That's not quite as hard to get. So you can still get some pretty nice blue boxes down that path. What is this? Are those lips? I'm gonna assume they're lips. So in addition to getting 10 to 11 of all of these really great essences, we got almost 70,000 Nixon bucks and 40 peta career chips. That's like running a regular Daily Planet 80 path in 2 different ways. Like, that is a lot of resources, and you can do it whenever on the weekend. That's nuts! Like, if that's gonna be a consistent thing that we actually get to keep around, because I'm told I was a little bit wrong last week, and the premium characters, oh, that's gonna make a noise. That the premium characters are going to actually have some way of getting essences post-event. I guess I was wrong about them requiring them switching over to badges. But if we get to keep those maps and just have some, it's a little more expensive because it's kind of double fuel. But if you get that much money and that many career chips, whenever you have the fuel to run it, that becomes one of the, like, best resources possible. I get the feeling we probably won't get to keep that specific map, but if we do, that alone kind of would make Larius worth it, even outside of anything else that he's doing right now. That is a good map. Do we have enough for the guy? Yes, welcome the guy, the Fry.
I must have it, my dodekalicious. Okay. I can't believe the hunched, decrepit creature I've become.
You are pretty hideous, Frydo. If that's what it means to be the chosen one, you can have it.
Well, there is one upside with these ape-like arms. I can finally scratch that itchy spot in the middle of my back.
You can? Oh no, I want to be the chosen one more than ever!
Frydo tasks. Do the Frydo tasks at your leisure. Oh, and then he gets a statue as well. Everybody just immediately gets a statue this week. If you can refrain from clicking the exclamation point, go for it. I think you're going to end up clicking it anyway. I personally do not have the resilience to not.
Oh god, what happened? Drawing the sword made me hideous!
Ha! Look at Mr. Big Shot Chosen One. You can bet yours truly wouldn't have become a freak if it had been me pulling that sword out.
You wouldn't have been able to pull the sword out because transforming into a freak
proves I'm the chosen one. Suck on that, fancy man.
Fine, you're a freak and I'm still handsome. Let's see who the ladies think is the chosen one.
I shall bring famine on your lands! One huge exhalation of my fiery breath will set your fields ablaze!
Good. Cornwood's agricultural experts have been recommending a program of controlled burns to help the fields recover from overfarming.
I don't recall saying I intended to exhibit any control!
Yeah, but well, I just assumed. Alright, do I have enough kangaroos? I was saving them. I've been saving them up for a rainy day. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I had enough. And from what I understand, doing the swamp should make another one appear. Let's see, it definitely makes the green guys appear. We got lots of blue guys. Did I get another dark purple kangaroo? I don't see him. Maybe it doesn't, so maybe you can't rush the kangaroos. That's fine. I intentionally saved them up over time so that I would actually be able to progress because I knew that was coming!
How dare you!
And then you have an 8-hour task for Leela to prance around, so... See you in the morning, Leela.
Oh, good morning, Leela! Oh, my dodekalicious, my dwelvin sword, full of voices, all speaking at once in my head.
Apparently drawing the sword has made you mad and ugly. We'll fix that later. Right now, we need you to channel that madness into defeating Maman.
Madness, you say? Would a madman have this many voices in his head, all vying for his attention and obedience? Oh, according to voice number 10, yes, a madman would. So let me try to get a word in edgewise with these guys, and I'll get back to you about Momon.
You crazy, Fry. You crazy. Everybody knows.
With my dwelvin orb, I will render the men of Cornwood sterile. Okay.
The Handbook of Conquest said that was a class 1 threat.
Stay here while I go do some threat research.
Yeah, I guess it would be bad in the long term, but in the short term, if you are an info, I guess that's fine. Great. Great news. Let's check out the third map. You need a level 66 Legala, which might not be worth the expense, but for science, we will do it! Hey, there went most of my money. That's fine. Yep, the 66 path is the one that is going to be really hard. It's probably not worth bringing Legala up to that point, unless you're a crazy completionist. It's probably easier to get Ignis's 48 path if you are looking for that balance of high efficiency to go into other stuff. But honestly, a lot of you guys, if you take this other easier top path, there's no shame in that whatsoever, because at this point, we're just going for completion. Yeah, replenish those coffers, because I'm gonna need it. And you start collecting Momon essence. I might be getting close to just getting her. No, still need about 9 more.
I am Titanius Anglesmith.
2 hour for Bender, and a 6 hour for Frydo. Plenty of time to refill your coffers, relax a little bit. I'm going through this pretty quick for the sake of the video, but keep in mind you got all week to get through all of these things, and you will probably have Maman by the time you even get to the quest to get Maman, because she seems pretty easy.
Okay, I'm back, and I'll kill all of the women and children too. I hate their rosy cheeks. I used to have rosy cheeks. Now look at me, snakes in my hair, wrinkles on my neck, and it's all thanks to children. My own children, granted, but all of them will pay. Leave the children alone. Gravity and time are who you're really mad at. Yes, but I can't punch gravity and time.
It's true. It's a good point. Can't stop them either.
At last you face me! The fate of Cornwood is in my all-powerful hands!
We're not afraid of you, for in my hands I hold the all-powerful Dwelvin Sword of Destiny.
Your sword may be all-powerful, but your hands are pretty pathetic, just like the rest of you, worm!
Yes, but the sword is what made me pathetic, and it likes me. Imagine what it'll do to its enemy.
To Defeat level 3 Momon, have Ignis chase butterflies. Sure, go for it, pal. Another 8-hour task. Where's level 3 Momon? They just mean her in level 3. So just run it again. Picking up the Momon essence.
Take that, Momon. Die and acknowledge my triumph. I can't believe it. Slain by an imbecile. Not even one of my imbecile sons either. I mean, getting slain by your own son kind of gives you hope for the next generation, but getting slain by some random clammy goofball. Yes, you've met defeat at the hands of random clammy goofball. A name that will echo down the ages.
Grab that orb, Frydo! We must throw it into the Fountain of Twelves, whence it came, and thus restore order to the kingdom of Cornwood.
No, let me do it. Orb tossing's not part of his destiny or anything, and I gotta have something to tell the ladies when I return to my castle in triumph. You'll be surprised how far a good hero story can get a fancy man on a Saturday night.
Okay, defeat more kangaroos and more guards. I should not have gotten rid of all of them as a thing. But this is the quest to unlock Momon. I don't quite have enough yet. We're gonna run one more grind mission just to unlock her and see her final thing. Come on, Larius, let's go. Hey, plus, I'm probably gonna be running this one a little bit just in my off time just to gather up the essences I need and get that fat stacks of cash. So yeah, I can't get this one yet. I imagine there's probably one more quest after this one that'll just have you have Maman do some tasks. But let's at least pick her up and see her thing, as we're kinda done with the event. Hey, Maman.
Behold my awesome power, you idiots! Come live with me as my daughter, Gynecoladriel. You will be heiress to a great kingdom. Oh, really? What about your 3 sons? Well, obviously, as the adopted interloper, you'll want to kill them. To be honest, I don't care about you living with me as my daughter. Just kill them and you can have my kingdom.
Okay, alright. Okay, well, that's, a nice side little Maman quest. You got all 3 of those things for her. Oh, and her statue, of course, which I guess is just her in human form, not her as a dragon, although maybe some of those might show up as stretch rewards for some of the other challenges. We'll see what those are later in the week. But that's basically it. We have a lot of villains now. Oh, Maman is our only evil character. It's yet to be seen if that's gonna pay off at a future time. What do you guys think? Is being evil cool, or is it really disappointing so far? I guess it's kind of disappointing now, but it won't really be disappointing unless TinyCo decides not to do anything with it. So maybe do decide to do. I kept waiting for this event to take a weird and crazy twist and try to, like, get hard or have some extra thing, but it has consistently been easy for 4 weeks in a row. Do you guys agree with that assessment? I know the levels got a little hard, like there was a level 80 gate. That's not easy, but again, I'm pretty sure you can get Maman without that. You might be hard-pressed to level all of them to 4 stars and make use of the essences, but actually, like, collecting all 8 free characters and getting all of the things has been nice? It's been good! TinyCo! TinyCo, good job! You did a good job! I've enjoyed this event. This has been, I think, a really fun event. If you were new to the game, maybe you had troubles getting Legala. I saw there was like a quest that involved La Barbara. Those things were probably pretty hard if you were new, but there was still a lot of nice, fun, easy stuff to catch into. I hope that TinyCo made money doing this, because I would like this kind of business model to continue. You know, a little difficulty curve here and there, a little more complexity wouldn't be bad, but things didn't ever, to me, they didn't feel like they ever pushed into the, like, kind of abusive thing. The fact that consistently for 4 weeks straight, I've basically been able to rush through the event in kind of one long long recording session. I broke this one up in a couple places, but that was mostly just because I had a work to do today. I like where this is going. What's next? What's coming up next? Is the hammer about to drop? Are more fun things going to happen? What do you guys want to see? Some week-longs, another month-long kind of like this? Maybe some other districts? I don't know! Sound off in the comments. How are you doing? Have you been able to get Maman? Are you planning to use any of these characters in your regular, like, day-to-day stuff post-event? Especially if maybe your first ever 4-star characters may have come from this event. Particularly, I know a lot of people picked up Titanius Anglesmith and you've had a month to actually level him. It's kinda cool. Good job, Futurama. I'm excited about this type of design. I don't know if I'm possible to lavish enough praise, and I feel like when praise is due, that it is given. Clap, clap, clap. Until the next event, my friends, my comrades, my friends. Bye for now.